blessing. From the south.
Etc. Damn near the whole world. Gotta be dumb if you ever could think you can mess with us. Damn near the whole world. Gotta be dumb if you ever could think you can mess with us.
We living legends, we superheroes. Make them villains sick, they possess with patient zero. No, we can't quit, we be the prophets. On a boat, but we take off like rockets. Coast to coast, make them hear smoke. Don't care if that's on cold, because that's just how it's rolled. See, I got my lethal weapon. With the hand I'm backing, boy, I'm about to teach a lesson. Go out like a living legend.
It started back in 03. The bishop hit the street, there wasn't no guarantee. Was hard work on concrete till the job was complete. Ain't no action like Jackson. We do this for the blacks in the Latins that asking about eternity. And their history untold. We reveal it from the new and the old. Living legends foretold. See them people from the east. Revelations 18 and 24. Babylon about to blow.
Sit back and watch it grow. See prophecy unfold. Sit back and watch it grow. Babylon about to blow.
Hey, okay, living legends. Sons of God on the block, I hope they get the message. On the side where they from, I mean it isn't pleasant. From the south to the top, preaching in the trenches. Go hard in any setting. Okay, living legends. Sons of God on the block, I hope they get the message. On the side where they from, I mean it isn't pleasant. From the south to the top, preaching in the trenches. Go hard in any setting.
Drop the anger, it's getting heavy. They try to rip us, but the scriptures turn them to confetti. We stand the block and we breaking chains like the levee. Kingdom to go when we kicking it just like we miss it. Ready? Like the full moon, we change the tide. Lion to Judah, Israel, yeah, that be the pride. I came in with the 12, yeah, you see the tribes. No house niggas in the field, yeah, we be outside.
Hey, we be outside, but forever going in. Yeah, we going live, prophecies in the wind. Ay, Holy Spirit to the fringes. If I said it, did I meant it? All work that I mentioned, gotta go hard to the pension. I know that we some living legends. Never take a loss, just keep living lessons. Spirit vexing, sometimes you get lost. Better get your blessing, it is destined. Boy, the world is yours since the intercession. In a second, you can lose it all, don't let them intercept it.
I'm trying to be in control, the people that grow, the people that stop. The people that comfortable being enslaved, they live in the grave, they live in the plot. The plot is keeping us in this religious, we making decisions, believing a lie. How you expecting to be in the know when you been living up under a rock? Make it hot, like we boiling, like we seasoning in the pot. We the salt, they absorbing every season, and we got make it stop. Sick and tired of all these heathens trying to copy. No matter how hard you try, you could never ever stop.
Life of a living legend, looking like I got ascending, flourishing with understanding, sharper than a two-edged weapon. You can never call me Saul, cause I'm rolling in a mind of Paul. We the doctors of law, and we gonna answer the call. Yeah, all you need to know is we ain't never gonna find it. Till you sober up and you'll be no longer blinded. We the greatest thing you will ever see, cause you're looking at a God and you're looking at a king. Now hold my crown and hold my chalice. We about to restore balance. Can we get a moment of silence? We about to bless the islands.
Okay, living legends. Sons of God on the block, I hope they get the message. On the side where they from, I mean it isn't pleasant. From the south to the top, preaching in the trenches. Go hard in any setting. Okay, living legends. Sons of God on the block, I hope they get the message. On the side where they from, I mean it isn't pleasant. From the south to the top, preaching in the trenches. Go hard in any setting.
Crazy.
Yeah. We waking them up, ain't no hitting the snooze. Pick apart your religion, I know that you choose. Part ways with the devil, I rose to a level. They counting me out while I'm counting the cost. And I'm cold like the frost on your window and dead of the winter. I know that they send the pretenders, inspired our members, but we never catch none of the shots that you sent us. And we got a ruthless method just to check it. Sayonara, goodbye, getting disrespectful. Good guy, no card for the incidentals. The damage you cause must be paid with your head. They raging war in the land, but that land is the land of the saints. God chosen people is something you ain't. Know we the trials, and now they won't file a complaint. Confident we the saints, so the burden of proof is on you and your crew. Who are you really? I give you a clue. Who changed the face of the judges? Who live by the sword and they weapons? Who telling the lies about Jesus? Who changed his appearance and features? What country adopted the eagle? That nation, the eagle.
Just taught the Bible in a whole different language. These niggas outside town getting dangerous. Never been to London, but I got me a Cambridge. Heavyweight, big dog, got it. Try it if you want. Bible in a holster, fire in a hole. Look at the stroke, 500 though. You not the real guys like I didn't know. Not surprised if you lie, surprised if you don't. K's-R, reject, we net. You stuck, we blessed, we are. Revelation 2 and 9. 3 say that you bowing down. Face the grind, lick dust, fix some crimes, switch it
Where
up.
my real Jews at? Where the real Jews go? I got swords in the air. We got boots on the floor. Where my real Jews at? Where the real Jews go? Put your swords in the air. Get your boots on the floor.
I know what they saying, I read lips in between lines. Bunch of dead folks, I can see signs. In other words, flee from these times. Gotta put in work in the meantime. ADL, they can get it. APAC, in fact, they can quit it. Slavery, I never will forget it. And with my God, you'll never be acquitted. I know it's offensive, that's why I said it. All gas, no brakes, cause we never unleaded. Cut a dog in the pieces like confetti. Get it done like a bride for the wedding. I'm with all the festivities. See them rockers red glare, no sympathy. Fire, rain, and supernatural disaster. When these bastards meet the master.
Read a scripture for the listener and his sister. Next break when we paint the picture. Mother missed the father, skipped the left the bitter. Bad taste mixing with the liquor. Whoa, we walked in the trap and that's la vie. And that's courtesy for my enemies. In the block in the eye, come on, Van Aki. Eat them, go mock round the clock, they want that from me. But we do what we supposed to. Put in the work while you sit on the sofa. Precepts is colder than no for the colder. Student of Christ, I just pray for diploma. We taking over. As it is written, I thought that we told you. All in the country, then back up the coaster. Look at the signs, it's already over. Preach to the blind on behalf of their want to detain us locked up, man, they want to stain us. Locked down, man, they want to famous. I've gone somewhere more than heinous. Not long till it's more than dangerous, I know. Ain't it a tragedy? My bishop shoot from the hip with 100% of the accuracy. Why they be mad at me? We taking over and busy awaiting and waiting a second return of his majesty.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So all the nations going into slavery. 12 tribes! 12 tribes! 12 tribes!
Sons of thunder! It's the 4th time around! The 4th son of Jacob! And like 4th and inches, you know we going for it. Yeah!
Look, he come from the heaven with thousands. No, that ain't a lot, that's a legion. 144K on the way and they pledge their allegiance to cremate these heathens. Damn, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Had to peel out this flesh cause I couldn't trust it. Got a spiritual body, you couldn't touch it. If you dying to test it, then try your luck. That's the one up, don't run up, get done up. Loaded clip full of scripts, I'ma pull it. The word is my weapon, the word is my shield. I'm equipped for these spiritual bullets. They shoot at the perfect in secret. Reading these laws, it ain't flaw, so I keep it. Shout out to bishops and shout out to deacons, captains and officers. I see the reason they say what we doing is treason. God body, God army, God nation. My oblation, broken spirit, consecration. Kings and priests, shining brighter than the constellation. Nukes to the north, yeah, that's abomination. For all the lies and the blasphemy. Slay the dragon, hunt down the demons. Vagabond getting judgment, and you looking at the judges.
Yo,
Israel the prince of the power. I came with an army, 144,000. We move like a unit, like Nike just do it in here. Them lions come to...
Hey, shalom, shalom, Musa in Christ bless. Musa in Christ bless you, brothers and sisters, man. Hope everybody doing good on this Sunday afternoon. I'm bringing you all a special today, you know what I mean? As you all know, you all in saw the Raven and Wolf show in a while, so, okay, I still got the time slot free for the Raven and Wolf show. So what I'm going to do today, right now, I'm changing up the format when it comes to the Raven and Wolves show. That show is no more. Okay, what we doing, okay, in this time slot, we're going to try to set up like, try to set up weekly news. You understand? We got a new page, new things set up. We are revamping the Raven and Wolf show. It will no longer be called the Raven and Wolf show. It will be called End Time Prophecies. Okay? End Time Prophecies. So, until we get that set up, election is coming up, and there's a lot of things on my mind concerning the election. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do a special today. I'm going to do a lesson concerning the election, okay, because that's what's on everybody's mind. And the election that's coming up is going to play it's going to have a lot to do with the things that's going to take place concerning our people in the future. Okay, the affliction, the oppression. Okay, this election that is about to take place, I want you brothers and sisters to understand what's going on. Okay, so the topic I'm going to touch on today, I'm doing a little class on this. Hopefully you brothers and sisters out there, you could be edified. The topic that I'm going to go over today is the American politics. Two horns like a lamb. Okay? The American politics, two horns like a lamb. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the scriptures, and I'm going to go into some prophecies, I'm going to go into some history, and show you all America in the Bible, America political system in the Bible. Okay, these things I'm going to show you all today. So I'm doing a class today. You know, this is not the Raven and Wolf show. I'm just doing a class. I'm going to go over the politics. Get you brothers and sisters' mind prepared, because I don't know. Some of you all might think in your mind, oh, I'm going to go vote. I'm going to go vote for Trump. Or I'm voting for Camilla. Bruh. Okay? I'm going to show you all what God says concerning voting and what God says concerning the political system that's here in America. Okay? So, I'm going to just jump straight into it. I ain't think them brothers sent me the thumbnail as yet. Yeah, so, you know, they ain't sent me the thumbnail as yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just jump straight into it. Okay, so what first scripture I want you to go to, first thing I want you to go to is Amos 3 and 7 and 8. Amos 3, verse 7 and 8.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. And it says, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
So God will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Okay? God is not going to do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Okay, so what I'm about to do today, I'm about to go into the scriptures, and I'm going to reveal some of the secrets that the Lord have revealed to us here in our UIC. Okay, so what am I saying? Am I saying that I'm a prophet? Am I saying at the end of the lesson, y'all gonna find out, but y'all already know. Okay, I ain't got to say. Me and my brother saying now UIC, I ain't got to say it. Y'all know what it is. Okay, the Bible says the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Read it again.
That's right. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
So he revealed his secrets. What is the secrets? The secrets is the mysteries, the metaphors, okay? The things that God speak about in the Bible that is going to come to pass in the future. Okay, guess what? The Bible talk about America. The Bible talk about America political system.
Yep.
But guess what? Everybody cannot understand it. Everybody cannot see it. Why? Because the Lord only reveal it to his servants, the prophets.
That's
okay,
right.
read on.
Verse 8, the lion hath roared. Who will not fear? The Lord God hath spoken. Who can but prophesy?
And as the Lord show us these things, what we got to do, who can but what?
Who can but prophesy?
We going to prophesy what God says.
We're
going to prophesy who God says America is. We're going to prophesy who is America in the Bible. We're going to prophesy the secrets that the Lord revealed to us, his servants, the prophets.
That's right.
Okay? From there, I want you to go to Isaiah 46 and 9.
Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning.
So the Lord says he declares the end from the beginning. Okay, where in the Bible did the Lord declare the end from the beginning? He declared it in his secrets, in metaphors, dark sayings. Okay, he let us know what is going to happen in the end of time, in the time we are living in right now. When did he do it? From the beginning. He, through the other prophets, he showed them visions and dreams and so forth. Okay, declaring what?
Declaring the end from the beginning.
So the secrets, guess what? We understand the end, what's going to happen in the end. Okay, the servants, the prophets, we understand what's going to take place in these end of time, in these end days. Okay, why? Because God revealed it to us. Okay, declaring the end from the beginning. Read on.
And from ancient times.
Read on.
The things that are not yet done.
The things that have not yet been done, the Lord have already revealed it to his servants, the prophets. Okay, how he reveal it to us in this book, in the scriptures. Okay, read on.
Saying, my counsel shall stand.
So God says his counsel shall stand, meaning what he say is going to come to pass. Whether you out there believe it or not, God's counsel is going to come to pass. What he say going to happen is going to happen, whether you believe or not. Okay, read on.
And I will do all my pleasure.
And the Lord going to do what he want to do, his pleasure. He's going to do it, whether you believe it or not. Okay, his counsel will come to pass. Okay, let me get my Bible inside here. So listen. So the Lord revealed the end from the beginning. Okay, now America is the greatest country on this planet Earth. Don't you all think that God mentioned America in the Bible? Don't you think God mentioned Europe and America and all these nations in the Bible? Yes, God did. Okay, why? Because we just read that God, he revealed that he declared the end from the beginning. Right. So we are living in the end of days, and this last superpower that is running the earth is America.
Right.
So does the Bible speak about America? Yes, but it does not call this land America. Okay, but the Lord, the reason why it says secrets is because when the Bible speaks of America, it speaks of America in different names.
Right.
You understand? Like, for instance, when you read the Bible and you read about America, America is referred to as Egypt, spiritual Egypt. America is referred to as Babylon. America is referred to as Lucifer, the light bearer. America is referred to as the land of the north. America in the Bible is referred to as the daughter of Babylon, okay, the man of sin, the border of wickedness, the little horn, the eighth head, the eagle, and the mystery of iniquity. You understand? America is also referred to as Babylon. America is also referred to as the beast. So these things is secret, but the Lord have revealed it unto us. A lot of you all didn't know that. But God mentioned America in different names in the Bible. Okay, and that's what I'm about to touch on and show you all. America political system. Did God speak about that in the Bible? Yes, God did. Did God speak about America rising up and ruling this earth? Yes, God did. Okay, so these are the things I'm going to touch on in the scriptures today.
Right.
Okay, so I want to start off with Daniel 2 and 37. Daniel 2 and 37.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 37. Thou, O king, art a king of kings.
So this is Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar is the king of kings. Read on.
For the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory.
Read on.
And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beast of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given unto thine hand.
Read on.
And hath made thee ruler over them all.
So God made Nebuchadnezzar ruler over everything on the earth. Okay, read on.
Thou art this head of gold.
So Nebuchadnezzar is the head of gold. Now I want you all to put up the image. This is a dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, and Daniel is breaking it down for Nebuchadnezzar. So he said, this is the vision. Nebuchadnezzar is the head of gold. Okay, read on.
Verse 39.
You see the head of gold, which is ancient Babylon. That's Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, keep on reading.
Verse 39. And after these shall arise another kingdom.
And after these going to rise another kingdom. So what are we reading about? The kingdoms that are going to rise up and rule this earth before Christ's return. Okay, that's what we're reading about. The kingdoms or the nations that are going to rise up and rule this earth before our King Yahweh Shai return. Okay, so we read about Babylon. That's Nebuchadnezzar. He says, after Nebuchadnezzar shall rise up another king. Read on.
Inferior to thee. And another third kingdom.
So the other king that rose up was the Persians and the Medes. Okay, that was the silver. Read on.
And another third kingdom of brass.
And the third kingdom is brass. That's Greece. Read on.
Which shall bear rule over all the earth.
Read on.
And the fourth kingdom.
And the fourth kingdom, read on.
Shall be strong as iron.
The fourth kingdom it began with Rome. Okay? It shall be strong like iron. So the fourth kingdom is Rome, read on, began with Rome. Let me say it that way. The fourth kingdom began with Rome. Right. Read on.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
So Rome, to break in pieces and bruise, it means Rome came into power and conquer all nations. That's what Rome did. Read on.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron.
So we are still in the Roman Empire, but we are further down in the end of it. Okay, in the feet and the toes. Rome is the beginning, the feet and the toes is the end. Okay, so the feet and the toes is an extension of the Roman Empire. Okay, so the feet and the toes, when you look on the image that we have set up there, remember the feet and the toes is the fourth kingdom. The last kingdom to rule this earth before Christ's return, before our King Yahweh Shai return. Okay, read on.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided.
So when you look at the feet and the toes, how much toes is on the feet? 10, right? Those 10 toes is going into Revelation 13 and Daniel 7, which I will touch on in a minute. Okay, so the 10 toes is going into the European Union and America. Okay? And I'm going to touch on that for you all in a minute. So America and Europe is the end of the fourth beast ruling.
That's
okay,
right.
It's the end of Rome. The fourth beast began with Rome, and in the end of it is America and Europe, the 10 horns. Okay, the 7 heads and 10 horns. When we read Revelation 13, which I'm going to touch on with you all. But read that again.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
So when it says the iron mixed with miry clay and it going to be divided, it means that all amongst the ending of their kingdom, what they did, they mixed with everybody. You understand? Everybody's here in America and Europe. All nations is mixed amongst them. So that make them weak. Okay? What we read here, Bible prophecy. The Lord declaring the end from the beginning. The Lord declared that in Europe and America, you will have a mixture of people mixing amongst the iron. And that's what you will see taking place. That's what you will see taking place in America. You see who's run. You got East Indians, all type of different nations joining together, voting and so forth. Okay, this is the great melting pot. Okay, so read on.
Verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Read on.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
So the last kingdom, which is an extension of Rome, is the Caucasian race, they're gonna mix with all nations. And that's what you see in Europe, and that's what you see in America. Okay, read on.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
And that's what happens in Europe and America. The nations and them is not cleaving one to another. Okay, right now there is riots taking place in France, in Britain and these places, in Germany. Okay, it's division because you got people living there. You got such as Arabs, they live in there and they are being labeled as terrorists and they are being persecuted as terrorists. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's crazy. Okay, the people over there, the Caucasian race over there, they burning the Quran. It's uprising, it's riots. You all remember they killed this young Arab boy like a year ago, and there was riots all over France. So the scripture says they shall not be united. That's what you see. There's division in this last kingdom. Okay, this last kingdom, which is America and Europe, there is division here. Okay, read on.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
That's showing that God is always about separation. He's not about all nations mingling together. This is what this is showing you. It says that they are not going to cleave one to another. There will be division here. There will be division. There will always be division in America, and there will always be division in Europe. Okay, read on.
Verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
And that's what you all see taking place today with IUIC and brothers and sisters waking up to the truth that they are the children of Israel. God is re-establishing his kingdom. He's setting up his kingdom. He's waking his people up in the days of these kings. Meaning while America and Europe is ruling, God is setting up a kingdom within a kingdom. And that's what you see taking place with brothers and sisters waking up, teaching this gospel, getting their life together, getting themselves together. This is the beginning stages of the kingdom of God.
That's right.
This is the beginning stage. What you all see happening with IUIC is the beginning stages of the kingdom of God. Okay? Read on.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
Read on.
Which shall never be destroyed.
And that kingdom will never be destroyed. So what I want, this is for the FBI, the CIA, God, the prophecy, remember the scripture said, declaring the end from the beginning, is that this kingdom that's being set up in the midst of this kingdom, you all will never be able to destroy it. You all might be able to take our life. You all could assassinate us on all of that, but guess what? It's not going to stop this truth. The elect going to wake up, and the kingdom of God will be established on this earth.
That's right.
Okay, that's what I want you all to understand. Read it again one more time.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
And it shall never be destroyed. So this movement is not going to be like the Black Panther movement, okay, which was destroyed by COINTELPRO and the FBI. This movement is not going to be like civil rights movement that was destroyed when they murdered Martin Luther King and hijacked the civil rights movements. Who did that? The Jewish people. You understand? The U.S. government. That's what they did. Yep. No civil rights is for homosexuals. It's for them and they and Chinese and Jewish people. You understand? That's who civil rights is for. It's no more for the oppressed people that was being lynched and murdered. Okay? That's what the civil rights movements was really about. But it have been hijacked and the leaders was murdered. But read on.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
Other people is not going to be ruling with us in this kingdom.
That's
Understand
right.
that. That's plain. That's clear. Okay, read on.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
The kingdom that God is going to set up, all those other 4 kingdoms that we read about, which is the Babylonian kingdom, the Persians and the Medes, the Greeks, and Rome and Europe and America, all these nations, kingdoms that you see came before, that is still set up on the earth, ruling today in different names. God says that we're going to break in pieces all these kingdoms. Okay, Europe, America, Iran, okay, all of them going to be breaking pieces when Christ returns.
That's right.
I want you all to understand that that's declaring the end from the beginning. Okay? Where we at there?
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
Okay. You know?
And it shall stand forever.
And the kingdom of God is going to stand forever. So that's Bible prophecy. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you. We believe this. Okay? From there, go to Daniel 7 and start at verse 1.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 1.
So I just show you all the fourth kingdom, which is Europe and America in the Bible. Okay? Now, let's go more into it. Daniel 7 and start at verse 1. Remember where I start off with. The Lord is going to do nothing but reveal his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. Okay? And the Lord declared the end from the beginning. So the time we are living in right now is the end. So what did God declare in the end? Did he mention America in the Bible? And what did he say concerning America and America political system? Read that for me.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 1. The first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
So this is nations fighting against each other. That's what it means, the winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. That's what it's talking about. It's a metaphor, but it's talking about war. Okay, read on.
And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
So that's the 4 kingdoms that we just read in Daniel 2. Okay, 4 great beasts came up out of the sea. Okay, you all know in the last days when we talk about the image of the beast, the image of the beast is going into that 4th beast, which is that 4th kingdom, that statue, the end in the feet of that statue that we just read, the leg and the feet. Okay? Now keep on reading.
And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings.
So it was like a lion and had eagle wings. That's talking about who? Put it up there. That's talking about Babylon. Okay, so the Most High declaring the end from the beginning. That's talking about Babylon. Read on.
I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man. And a man's heart was given to it.
This is talking about Nebuchadnezzar. Read on.
Verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side.
It raised up itself on one side. This is talking about the Persians and the Medes. Why it raised itself up on one side first? Because the Medes, they were ruling first. They came into power first. This is a dual rulership was the Persians and the Medes. Okay, the Persians is the modern day Iranis. They were ruling the earth one point at a time. Okay, read on.
And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it.
And those 3 ribs goes back to Isaiah 45 and 17. I think is Ethiopia, Sabia, and what else? And Egypt. Those 3 nations, God told Cyrus, I'm going to give you those 3 nations for you to let my people go out of slavery. Okay? You know what? Just go there real quick just to make sure, because some people might be like, what is he talking about?
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 14. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine.
And they shall be thine. Who is talking to? He's talking to Cyrus. That's who God is talking to.
You want that verse 1?
Yeah, jump to verse 1.
Verse 1. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus.
To who?
To Cyrus.
So God mentions Cyrus by name. Remember we said declaring the end from the beginning. God mentioned Cyrus by name in the book of Isaiah before he was even born. 150 years before he was even born, God mentioned him by name and tell him what he's going to do. Okay? So go back to the start. Go back to the image up there again and put it up on the screen again. Let's see that image. Okay? So, read it again, Jalal.
Yes, sir. Daniel chapter 7, verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear.
So this bear is the Persians and the Medes. Read on.
And it raised up itself on one side.
That's the Medes rising up first, coming into power first.
And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it.
The 3 ribs in the mouth of it is talking about Ethiopia, Sabia, and Egypt, that God prophesied that he's going to give to Cyrus to let us go to slavery, because Cyrus is the one that let the Israelites go to rebuild in Jerusalem. Okay, read on.
Between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
So the Persians and the Medes arose up and they was ruling one point at a time. They were ruling the earth. That's the second kingdom. Read on.
Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
So this one is going into Greece. It's the same statue we read about in Daniel 2. Okay, read on.
Which had upon the back of it 4 wings.
So this is going into Alexander the Greek and so forth. The Greeks when they came into power. Okay, read on.
Which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
And it had what?
And dominion, and the beast had also 4 heads.
It had 4 heads. I think that's talking about the 4 generals. You know, that's talking about the 4 generals that came under Alexander 4 generals. You know, so this is talking about Alexander the Greek, okay, son of Philip, him rising up and conquering the earth, Alexander. Okay, so all of this is history, but God prophesied these things going to happen. Okay, before they happen, these things was prophesied to happen. Okay, so this is the third beast. Okay, the third kingdom to rise up and rule this earth was the Greeks. Now keep on reading.
And dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast.
So now we're reading about the fourth beast. I showed you all the last of the statue, which is the foot and the toes. That's going into this right here, what we're reading right here. The fourth beast. Okay? All right? Read it again.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible.
So this fourth beast was dreadful and terrible. Which fourth beast is this talking about? It's talking about Rome, the so-called white man. He was dreadful and terrible. Okay, read on.
And strong exceedingly.
And he was very strong. Read on.
And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces.
Okay, so now this fourth beast, it mentioned the description of this fourth beast. Okay, the other beast, it gave you description, right?
Right.
It tell you the lion with wings and, you know, and the leopard. But this fourth beast, it didn't give a description. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra's. 2nd Ezra's 12 and 11. Explain this fourth beast, the description of this fourth beast. Okay?
2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee.
So it was not expounded to Daniel what this fourth beast looked like. But read on.
Verse
13.
Behold.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee. Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it.
Right, read on.
In the same shall 12 kings reign.
That's the Romans. That's the 12 Caesars. Okay? There will arise up a kingdom, and there will be 12 kings goes into them 12 Caesars is going to rise up. Okay, when you go into the history, there was 12 Caesars that rose up and ruled Rome. Okay, so remember what we're reading, declaring the end from the beginning. Okay, now wait, mention the eagle. Is it 11?
Verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
So that fourth beast that we read about in Daniel is an eagle. Is the eagle. Now, where else in the Bible does it mention the eagle? Let me get Obadiah. Obadiah 1 and 1.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
So God is speaking against Edom, the so-called white man. That's who Edom is. Read on.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
So Edom, read on.
Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high.
Jump to verse 4.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Though thou what?
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
So Edom is that eagle. Edom is that fourth beast that we're reading about in Daniel and in 2nd Ezra's 11 and 12. Edom. Who is Edom today? All Europeans. All the Caucasian, or the whole Caucasian race, they all are Edom. Okay, that's who Edom is. Okay, read on. Let's see that again. Read it again.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
So that's the symbol for the fourth beast, the eagle. That's the symbol for America, the eagle. Y'all understand? Because the eagle is a bird of prey. Okay, read on.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Because what they did in 1969, they went up in space and they set their nest up there. They said the eagle have landed. Okay, they claim the moon for themselves. Read on.
Though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down.
So God is going to judge them and bring them down to the ground. Now go back to Daniel and read that again.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible.
So that fourth beast is who? The eagle. That's who that fourth beast is, the eagle. Read on.
And strong exceedingly.
Read on.
And it had great iron teeth.
Read on.
It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
So this is talking about them Caesars. This is talking about them coming into power and those 12 Caesars conquering the earth. Read on.
And stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
And had what?
10 horns.
And it had 10 horns. Read on.
I considered the horns.
So the 10 horns going back to the 10 toes. Okay, that's what the 10 horns going back to, the 10 toes. Read on.
I considered the horns.
So it jumped from Rome and it jumped all the way to when? To the last day, to the 10 toes. Okay, which is Europe and America. You all understand? Which is Europe and America. I'm going to show you all America politics and the white man system in the Bible. Okay, read on.
I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
So amongst them 10 horns, or them 10 toes, there came up another little horn. Now, who is that another little horn that came up? Okay, who was the last nation to be born on this earth? The last nation to arise on this earth was what? Was America. America became a nation, I think, in 1776. Okay? And America is the world superpower right now. Okay? So America came to power in 1776. Okay? And they are the ones that's ruling the earth right now. So this little horn that we are reading about right here is God showing us the end. He's showing us America coming to power. Daniel wrote about this thousands of years ago. Okay, so read it again.
There came up among them another little horn.
So amongst them 10 horns, amongst them European nations, amongst Edom, the fourth beast, another nation rose up. And this nation was called a little horn. Read on.
Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
So what is this talking about? It says 3 of the first horns, meaning 3 out of them 10 horns was plucked up by the root. This is going into, in order for America to gain independence, and in order for America to become what it is today, America had to go to war with Britain. That's one of the horns. They had to go to war with France. That's one of the horns. And they had to go to war with Spain. That's another one of the horns. Okay? So America went to war with these three horns in order to be recognized and in order to establish their country. Okay? Read it again one more time.
I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
So, in order for America to become to gain independence, they got to go to war with Britain, France, and Spain. Read on.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man.
So that eyes like the eyes of man is going into America, the Industrial Revolution. Okay, it's going into the technology and the wisdom that America have, the science and all of that. Okay, that's that eyes. What? Read it again.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man.
Right. That when you all see the eyes of a man, that look like the Illuminati, right?
Yeah, put the dollar bill.
Yeah, that's like the Illuminati. Okay, I think it's on the dollar bill too.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. They call it the all-seeing eye.
Yep. But that what them eyes is really going into America wisdom and technology. Okay, that's what them eyes represent. That's what I want you all to see and understand. Read on.
And a mouth speaking great things.
So a mouth speaking great things. The great things is lies. Okay, that's the great things. Read on.
Verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
So remember what we read, declaring the end from the beginning, right? So Daniel say, I even saw when America was destroyed and Europe was destroyed. Okay, that's what he mean by I beheld until even the throne was cast down. I saw when America was destroyed and Europe was destroyed. Read it again.
Verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
The thrones is talking about those 10 horns and that little horn. You all understand? All them thrones will be cast down. That's the Bible prophecy. Read on.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
And the Ancients of Days is talking about the Father, Christ's Father. Okay? He is sitting now. Okay? Not he's our Father too. Well, you could say he's our grandfather.
Grandpapa.
You understand? But he is Christ's Father. He's our King Father. Christ is the only begotten Son of the Father. Okay, a lot of times y'all don't fully understand it, but Lord's will, one of these days we're going to go into that with you all. The only begotten of the Father, and we are the only begotten of the Son. You know what I mean? Yo, so the Ancients of Days did sit, which is the Father, which is our grandfather. Read on. Which is he created Christ. Christ created all of us. Okay? So read.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
That's the Father. Read on.
Whose garment was white as snow.
Read on.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Read on. So so God have what? No, a lot of time people say God is spiritual. He don't look like God have woolly hair.
Yes.
God here is the hair of Negroes. Yes. You understand? Who got woolly hair on this earth, man?
That's right.
We got woolly hair. Look at my beard, man. It's woolly and curly, you know what I mean? Okay? You got these people running around with these Caucasian and God with long straight hair, dead hair. No, God have woolly hair. Read on.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Read on.
His throne was like the fiery flame.
So his throne was like fiery flame coming from his throne. You understand? I don't think you all understand what that's saying. There's another scripture says his throne is like the sun. Meaning, no, you can't approach his throne. You gotta be supernatural, like, you know what I mean? You gotta be an angel or on another level to even approach his throne. You gotta be changed. You gotta be changed in order to approach God's throne. But anyway, I ain't wanna get into that. Let's keep going.
His throne was like the fiery flame.
You know,
and his wheels as burning fire.
And his wheels goes into his chariots like burning fire. Read on.
A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him.
The thousands and thousands that minister unto him is those of us that repent and made it up out of here. You all understand?
That's
It's the
right.
saints of God. Yeah, us in our angelic form. Okay? Read on.
And 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
Read on.
The judgment was set.
The judgment was set.
And the books were opened.
Read on.
I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake.
I beheld on the what?
I beheld then because of the voice of the great words.
Because of the voice of the great words that what?
Which the horn spake.
Which horn this is talking about? The horn here is talking about that same horn that came up. Okay? That horn is talking about America. The great words goes back to the blasphemy. Goes back to the lies that America is pushing on the earth. Okay? Calling themselves Christians. Calling themselves Jews. Calling themselves the people of God and pushing all these lies on the earth. Read it again one more time. I want you all to pay attention.
Verse 11, I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake.
Read on.
I beheld even till the beast was slain.
I even beheld until the beast. What beast is he talking about? He's talking about that fourth beast, the eagle, America and Europe. Okay? Daniel said, I saw even when America and Europe was destroyed. Okay, read on.
And his body destroyed.
And his body destroyed. Read on.
And given to the burning flame.
Okay, read on.
As concerning the rest of the beast.
Okay, what I want you to jump further up to verse. Where you at?
That was verse 12 that I'm in.
Okay. Jump to verse 19.
Verse 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast.
No, start at 17.
Verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
4 kingdoms are going to rise up and rule this earth. The first is Babylon. The second is Persians and the Medes. The third is Greece. The fourth is Rome. We are still in Rome. Okay? America and Europe is an extension of Rome, which I'm going to touch on a little later on. Okay, read on.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
What we going to do?
Take the kingdom.
We going to take the kingdom from you all. When Christ return, we taking it. Okay, ain't no voting and no action, we taking it. Read on.
That's right.
And possess the kingdom forever.
Are we going to possess this earth forever? That's the kingdom, the rulership of this earth in righteousness.
That's right.
Okay, read on.
Even forever and ever.
Read on.
Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast.
So Daniel said, I want to know who is this fourth beast. I want to know the truth about this fourth beast. Read on.
Which was diverse from all the others.
Because this fourth beast is different from the other 3 beasts that rose up. So I want to know about this fourth beast. Read on.
Exceeding dreadful.
And it was worse than all of them. It was exceedingly dreadful. Read on.
Whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass.
So why it says iron and brass? Read on.
Which devoured, break in pieces.
Why it says iron and brass? What was of brass? What kingdom was of brass? I don't know. This just hit me as I'm reading it. Huh? What kingdom was of brass? Huh? What kingdom was what kingdom is of brass? Think about it. Greece, right? Yes. And what kingdom is of iron? Now I'm about to hit you with some history. What happened to Greeks? The Greeks. What happened to them? When Rome came into power, what happened to the Greeks? Right, they merged into one. It was called the Greco-Roman Empire. You understand why? Because they both were the same race of people. Okay? So now, I don't know, this just hit me as we reading it. So read it again, and I want you all to see this. Read it again.
Verse 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast.
Read on.
Which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron.
So the teeth is of iron, meaning Rome. Read on.
And his nails of brass.
Meaning of brass, meaning Greece. They're the same people. They came together as one. You understand? Read on.
Which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
So all Caucasians came together under the Romans. And they did what? They conquer all nations. That's what we read in here. All white people came together. The Greeks came together with the Romans. Okay, they absorbed, was the Greco-Roman Empire. They became one. They start worshiping the same gods and all of that. Okay, read on.
Verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head.
And the 10 horns now it's going further into history. You understand? It's jumping in time. Okay? So the 10 horns is what? Is Europe. Okay? Out of them 10 horns, what came out of them 10 horns? A little horn came out of them 10 horns. And it says that little horn make war with 3 of them horns. Okay, that's America. Okay, we read that early on. Read on.
And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up.
And the other which came up, that's America. The 10 horns is Europe. The other that came up is America. Read on.
And before whom 3 fell. Even of that horn.
Even of that horn, which is America. Read on.
That had eyes and a mouth. That spake very great things.
It speak blasphemy. That's the great things. Read on.
Whose look was more stout than his fellows.
So it's saying that when it says whose look was more stout than his fellows, it means that little horn that came up, it's military strong. It's military going to be stronger. Its economy will be stronger. That's why it says that it looked more stout than it follows. Meaning America is stronger than Britain. America is stronger than Spain. America is stronger than France. Then all these 10 horns come together. America is stronger than them. You all understand? God is declaring the end from the beginning. For in the time of Daniel, we understand what's going to take place. Daniel understood what's going to take place. And the Lord is going to do nothing. And what I just explained here, it was explained to me by the bishop. The Lord revealed it to him. Guess what? Everybody can't get it. You know, I want you all to understand. It's only the prophets could understand these things. Okay? Read it again one more time.
Verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things.
So he had eyes and he had a mouth speaking very great things. The very great things is the blasphemy and the lies that America is pushing on the earth. You understand? What's the blasphemy and the lies? They are calling themselves Christians. They are not the Christians the Bible speak about.
Bruh.
They are calling themselves Jews. They are not the Jews that the Bible speak about. Okay? They calling us Negroes. We are not Negroes. We are the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
They are pushing lies. Read on.
Whose look was more stout than his fellows.
His look was more stout, meaning America is a powerful nation. And it's telling you here that horn came up last. Okay, which is America coming into power. Read on.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints.
So that same horn, which is America, made war with the saints. So when you go into history, you got to figure out what happened.
Right.
Okay? When did America made war? Who is the saints that America made war with? Okay, the saints that America made war with is the North American Indians. Okay, the indigenous people that was over here. In them establishing themselves, the United States of America, they had to murder and kill the North American Indians. They had to murder and kill the Reubenites, the tribe of Reuben, because that's who was over here. Okay? That's who was over here. The children of Israel was living on this side of the world for hundreds of years. Okay? So it says that America, that little horn, will make war with the saints. They literally went to war with the North American Indians. Okay, they went to war with them. That's what America did. Okay, now let me get that scripture to explain who the saints are. Psalms 148 and 19. Okay, because some of you all might say the saints, anybody could be a saint. When the saints come marching in, I just want to be in the number. No. You're not going to be in that number. You understand?
That's right.
The saints is the 12 tribes of Israel. The saints is the oppressed people of this earth. The Negroes, Hispanics, the enslaved, the colonized. Those are the saints, the people of God. Okay? At least those that repent. Read on.
Psalms chapter 148 and verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel.
So the saints is his people. The saints is the children of Israel. That's who the saints are. Okay? So now, go back and read that again.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 21. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them.
So the prophecy is that horn, America, will go to war with the saints and them over here on this side of the world, and they will conquer them. And that's what took place. The North American Indians, they were conquered by the Europeans, by that horn. Does the Bible mention that? Yes. Go to Genesis 49.
Genesis chapter 49 and 49 verse 19.
So Jacob, he saw his sons being conquered by that little horn. Okay, Jacob saw it, and what Jacob said. Read that for me.
Genesis 49 verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him.
So the prophecy is that in the future, go read verse 1 for you all to know when it's talking about.
Verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
So Jacob is letting his sons know what's going to happen in the end. In the beginning, when he just created the first son, his 12 sons before they became a nation, he's letting them know what's going to happen to them in the end. You all understand? Remember we read, declaring the end from the beginning. That's what God does. That's what the Lord does to his sons, the prophets. The Lord showed Jacob what's going to happen to his sons in the last days. And what God says concerning Gad, read it again.
Verse 19. Gad, a troop.
A what?
A troop.
A what?
A troop.
Read on.
Shall overcome him.
Shall overcome Gad. So what troop overcome Gad? The Gad is the North American Indian, the U.S. Cavalry troop, led by Andrew Jackson. They had to use the Gatling gun. That's what they used to overcome Gad. Okay? That's why you all celebrate Thanksgiving. Yes, Thanksgiving is about the murder of the saints of God. Okay? Thanksgiving is about the celebration of the white man taking this land and murdering the saints of God. Because that's who the North American Indians is. Whether some of you all believe it or not, but they are the saints of God.
That's right.
Okay? The prophecy is that a troop shall overcome Gad. Who is Gad? Gad was those North American Indians over here. And guess what? It came to pass. A troop overcame them. Okay, so go back and read it again.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 21.
Read on.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints.
So America is that horn. They made war with the saints that were living on this side of the world. Okay, read on.
And prevailed against them.
And they conquered them, and they got this land for themselves. That's how they got the land of America. Because this land belonged to the saints. It belonged to the North American Indians, but they killed them and put them on reservations. That's what they did. Read on.
Verse 22.
That's why the white men have something called manifested destiny. Okay, what does that mean? It means they say that this land was predestined for them from God. Where they got that from? They got that from Daniel right here. According to Daniel, it says that that little horn, America, they will conquer the saints and them over here. So they know what they were doing when they came and they took this land. They said, God prophesied we will conquer you all. You know, read on.
Verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
So the time will come where the saints, we will possess this earth. That's the kingdom. It's this whole earth. This earth, heaven and earth, we gonna rule both. Okay, read on.
Verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth.
So that's what we are living in right now. We are living in the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which is Rome. Okay? America and Europe is an extension of Rome, is the feet and the toes. Okay, read on.
Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms.
Read on.
And shall devour the whole earth.
What verse you at?
That's verse 23.
Read on.
And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise.
10 kings that shall arise. Read on.
And another shall rise after them.
And another shall rise after them. That's talking about America. America shall rise after them. Read on.
And he shall be diverse from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings.
And he shall subdue 3 kings. That's France, Britain, and Spain. Read on.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Them great words against God is the blasphemies that come out of his mouth. The lies that come out of his mouth. Him calling himself a Jew. He calling himself Christians. He calling himself the people of God. He teaching homosexuality. All of them stuff. Okay, him putting his image up as the image of Christ and God. Read on.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And he wore us out. Okay, he wore us out. Starting in conquering this land, then he brought the Negroes over here, the Judah over here, and he wore them out too in slavery. Okay, that's what the white man did. He brought Judah over here and wore them out in slavery. Read on.
And think to change times and laws.
And he gonna think to change times and laws. So he have changed God laws. How have he done that? The great things he speak against God. He says he teach legalism. You all look it up what legalism is. Legalism is what they taught, what Christians teach, that you don't have to keep God laws no more. You are under grace, so you could be wicked and evil. You all understand? Another thing, another law that they change is all the ordinances that God give us, they change it. God says a man should not sleep with a man. America said no. God is loving. My God is loving. You could sleep with men. Women could sleep with women. Okay, so these is the thing. They have changed times and laws. When it comes to time, last night we there chilling. 1 minute they say 2 o'clock. We like, okay, damn, it's 2 o'clock, man. Then we got to get ready to push out of here. Then we look at the time. It jumped back 1 o'clock. We like, yo, yeah, we gonna chill a little longer, man. Time just went back. So when it says they have changed times and laws, it means what the white man did, he changed time. Meaning what? He carried the time back in the winter and carried it forward in the summer. Bruh. Right? What he also do, he changed the time when the new moon begin from the bright, when the moon is bright, to when the moon is dark. Okay, so it's a lot of things he have changed when it come to time. It says he shall change time and laws, and he have changed God's laws, the laws of the Bible. The white man have changed it. Okay? No, read it again one more time.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Read on.
And think to change times and laws.
And he going to think to change times and laws. Okay, he have changed times and laws. Okay? Okay, so that's what he have done. Read on.
And days shall be given into his hand.
Read on.
Until a time.
A time, that's 100 years.
And times.
And times, meaning 200, that's 300 years. Read on.
And the dividing of time.
And the dividing of times, meaning 300. Dividing of time, meaning 350 years. Okay, so what is this saying here? We're going to be oppressed. We're not going to know who we are under the so-called white man for over 350 years. Okay, when you check from 1619 to the 1960s, it's 350 years. Okay, in the 1960s, that's when Israel start waking up. That's when we start waking up to the truth that we are the children of Israel and so forth. Okay, so that's what that is saying. Okay, read on.
Verse 26, but the judgment shall sit.
The judgment for the white man go and sit. It doesn't matter what you all say, what you all feel, what you all think. The judgment for Europe and America, it still sit. Read on.
And they shall take away his dominion.
And we going to take away his dominion. That's the prophecy. That's not hard. That's not hard reading comprehension. That's not a parable. Read it again one more time, man.
But the judgment shall sit.
God's judgment shall sit. Read on.
And they shall take away his dominion.
And they, the Israelites, we going to take away their dominion. Remember we read early on, in the midst of this kingdom, the Lord is going to set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed. Okay, read on.
To consume and to destroy it unto the end.
Unto the end. We're going to destroy this place with what? With teaching the word of God. And then Christ going to return and destroy this place with fire. Read on.
And the kingdom and dominion.
Read on.
And the greatness of the kingdom.
Read on.
Under the whole heaven.
Read on.
Shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High.
So who are we going to be given to? The people of the saints of the Most High. Who is the people of the saints? The children of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel, the people that they oppress. Okay? So now, so I showed you all the little horn, which is America. Okay? America coming into power as a little horn. Now let me show you all some more things. I show you all the fourth beast, which is Europe and America. Okay? I show you all the feet and the toes. The fourth kingdom, which is Rome, and Europe and America is an extension of Rome. Okay? Now, I want to show, let me show you all, I'm going to show you all American political system. But let me show you all again America coming into power. Remember I tell you all America is referred to as many different names in the Bible. Okay, I want you to go to Revelation 17 and start at verse 1.
Revelation 17 and verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore.
I will show you the judgment for that nasty, slutty, you know,
whore.
Read on. That little whore, that great whore. Read on.
That sitteth upon many waters.
And she sitteth upon many waters, because she a nasty, filthy whore. She's jumping every water she's sitting upon. You know what I mean? Read on.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
All the kings of the earth was banging this nasty, filthy whore. You know what I mean? This is talking, it's spiritually talking about how the nations deal, all of them fornicating with America. Read on.
And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
All the lies and the filth that America have pushed on the earth, nations have drunken of it. Okay, read on.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness.
Remember it says, the whore that sitteth upon many nations. Okay, so read on.
And I saw a woman.
And he saw a woman. Read on. Let me get the Statue of Liberty.
And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
No, let me get that image. A woman, that woman that sitteth upon a scarlet-colored beast is talking about America. It's talking about that little horn. Okay? And the scarlet-colored beast is the red beast. Is that same beast that we read about is the eagle. It's that same beast we read about in Daniel 7, in Daniel 2, which is the iron and the iron and the iron and the 10 toes. You understand? Is also the eagle. You understand? That's that scarlet colored beast. It says the woman sitteth upon it. It's talking about the 7 heads and 10 horns. It's talking about the last kingdom, that fourth beast, which is the eagle, which is the Caucasian race, which is America and Europe, that's going to rule the earth. That's what this represents. Okay? Read it again.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
The woman that sit upon the beast is America. Okay? America is on top of Europe, dictating and ruling and telling them what to do. Okay? And I'm going to show you all that. America is the one that's over Europe and all of these countries. America sit upon that beast. America is the head. Is the head of this last fourth beast. America is the head. America is the superpower. America dictate what they can do. Okay, America is the one that protect them. Okay, America is the one that finance most of the military for NATO and all of that. Okay, read on.
Full of names of blasphemy.
So this woman, this beast full of blasphemy, all type of lies coming out of her mouth. Blasphemies, lies. Read on.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So let me get the image of the 7 heads and 10 horns. So the woman sitteth upon this beast, the beast having 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads is Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, Great Britain. Okay, I ain't going to touch on the 8s yet. And the 10 horns is Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, United Kingdom, Italy, Greece, France, Denmark, Ireland. Now, right now, is much more than 10 horns. Right. That's what I want you all to understand. The 7 heads and 10 horns represent the European Union. Okay, the European Unions is basically a union of all the fourth beast, which is all Caucasians, come together and they share the economic prosperity and they share the military advances, the technology, and they only share it amongst each other. And they make sure that they countries prosper. That's why when you go after what originally was 10, was these 10, but then other Caucasians start joining, other white nations start joining. So right now it's probably like 20-something joined the European Union. Yep. Okay, you had Turkey tried to join. They've been trying to join for years now. They said, nah, you all can't join. You more aligned with the Arabs, you know, but you have all these Caucasian race that joined the European Union. The European Union was not established for dark nations, East Indians, Africans, okay, Arabs. The European Union is the fourth beast. This is the rulership of the earth today, right, head by America. Okay, so that's what we're reading about here. Okay, because some of you might say the European Union is not 10 horns today. It originally started with 10 horns. Okay, right, but it's basically where economically all the Caucasian race come together and they share technology and economic wealth and so forth and so on. Because when they take somebody in the European Union, do you know that the other European Union, their GDP and the money they make, they got to help that country financially? They help lift that country up and build up that country economy. That's what the European Union is about. Okay, do you think Africans, nations could join the European Union? No. It's white only. It's white only. You got to be an Edomite only, and that's the prophecy. Okay, that's the prophecy. You're not going to see Ethiopia talking about we join the European Union. That ain't happening. It's about white supremacy. And America is the head of the European Union. America is the head of NATO. Okay, so that's what we're reading right here. You feel me?
It says it in the name. It's only for Europeans.
Yes.
European Union.
Yep. That exactly. It says it in the name. European Union. Meaning it's only for white people. Only for European. We don't want no niggas amongst us. We don't want no Chinese amongst us. We don't want no Africans amongst us. Y'all go join BRICS. You understand? So now they're trying to form their own type of coalition. They say, you know what? Let's form our own thing for our own economic establishment. Because guess what? The European Union, they don't mess with Russia. They say, we ain't messing with Russia. You understand? So Russia form its own alliance with the dark nations and trying to overthrow the European Union, which is BRICS. That's that alliance that Russia have formed. You understand? So what we're reading here is Bible prophecies. Read it again one more time.
Verse 4. And the woman was arrayed. No, verse 3. And so he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
The woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Scarlet is red. Why is it red? Because Edom is called red. They are red. They are red people. They are that bloody people. They are that murdering people. They are that conqueror. That's why they are called red. Okay? The woman that sit upon it is America. Sitting upon the nation. Sitting upon the scarlet-colored beast, meaning the 7 heads and 10 horns. Read on.
Full of names of blasphemy.
And is a lot of blasphemy. That's all they teach, blasphemy. Read on.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Okay, that's the European Unions. Read on.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones.
Meaning she's rich. America is rich. This is what this is saying. Read on.
And pearls, having a golden cup in her hand.
So she have a golden cup in her hand. Read on.
Full of abominations.
So she got abomination, full of our abominations. Read on.
And filthiness.
And filthiness. So that's what America got in her cup. Abomination and filthiness. Okay, everything that America push is full of abomination and filthiness. Now, what is our abomination? Abomination is when you could read Deuteronomy 18 all over the scriptures. They tell you about abomination. Worshipping idols is abomination. America is full of that. Homosexuality is abomination. Lesbianism is abomination. Okay, is many things in the Bible is abomination that America supports and push on other nations. Okay, read on.
And having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Read on.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great.
So she's called Mystery Babylon the Great, written upon her forehead. Why is it a mystery that she's Babylon the Great? Because a lot of you brothers and sisters has been fooled that this place is the land of prosperity and peace. God says this place is Mystery Babylon the Great. Okay, why? Because a lot of y'all have been fooled that America is the land of milk and honey. Okay, America is about peace and love. God says this place is Mystery Babylon the Great. Okay, read on.
The mother of harlots.
The mother of harlots. Read on.
and abominations of the earth.
And all the abominations of the earth, it begins here in America. I want you all to understand that it begins here, then it go to Europe and all these other and all the other European countries, then to the islands and all of that. I'm telling you, this place is what pushed abominations on the earth. Okay, read on.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Because why it says this? Because in the future, me and my brothers will die here in America teaching the word of God. My brothers and I gonna die here in America teaching this word. Okay, why? Because of what we are teaching. You think what we teaching, they're gonna love us for this? Okay, read on.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus.
There will be many martyrs here in America. There will be many brothers that are going to rise up and teach this word and will become martyrs here in the streets of America. Okay, read on.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
So John the Revelator said when he saw America, he wondered after her with admiration. He like, damn, look at this place, man. Read on.
And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel?
He said, why are you marveling at this place, at Babylon, the great, mystery Babylon the great, which is America? Read on.
I will tell thee the mystery of the woman.
I'm going to tell you the mystery. I'm going to tell you the mystery of this woman. Okay, so you all pay attention. Pay attention. Read on.
And of the beast that carrieth her.
And the beast that carrieth her. The beast that carrying her is the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Which is what? The European nations. The European Union. All the other Caucasian race that form that union. They carry in America. Okay, read on.
And of the beast that carrieth her.
Read on.
Which had the 7 heads and 10 horns.
That's it right there. Read on.
And the beast that thou sawest was and is not.
It was and is not. Yo, I send you all an image there about this scripture right here. I think it's the second to last one I sent. You know, the beast that was. Let me see it on the screen there. No. Read it again.
Verse 8.
Yeah, that's it.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not.
I'm going to tell you when to put it up. The beast that you saw, it was and is not. What it mean? It was and is not. That beast was in existence one point of time, but it's not in existence right now. You understand? Read on. Read it again.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not.
And is not. Meaning it ain't came as yet. Read on.
And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
It shall come from Europe. That's where this beast came from. Read on.
And go into perdition.
And go into perdition. Perdition mean destruction. Read on.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wander, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world.
So those of your name is not written in the book of life, you're going to worship the beast. That's what it means, shall wander. You're going to worship the white man, his image, his lies, because your name was not written in the book of life. That's why sometimes you try to show some brothers and sisters, listen, man, you can't be voting, you can't be doing this. America is the abomination of the earth, and they watch at you like you got 4 eyes. You understand? Because guess what? You gonna wander after this beast. You gonna worship this beast. Okay, you gonna worship the beast and his image. Okay, read on.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wander, whose names were not written in a book of life from the foundation of the world.
Read on.
When they behold the beast that was and is not.
They behold the beast that was. Why it says the beast that was? Because it's going back to Rome. You understand? Because America is an extension of Rome. And I'm going to touch on that a little. The beast that was and is not. Because at that time, America did not come into power as yet, but America is an extension of Rome. Okay, read on.
The beast that was and is not and yet is.
And yet is. What do you mean yet is? Because in the time of John the Revelator, Rome was ruling. Okay, read on.
And here is the mind which hath wisdom.
So listen, remember what we read early on. The Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Okay, and it's only the prophets could understand these things. So if you understand what I'm teaching you right now, guess what? You are a prophet. The same way Bishop taught it to me and I understood. They say I'm teaching it to you all. If those of you all that get it, you all the prophets. Now check this. So read it again one more time.
Verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom.
So if you have wisdom, you all pay attention to this. Read on.
The 7 heads are 7 mountains.
It's 7 mountains. 7 mountains is talking about 7 nations. 7 mighty Caucasian nations that are going to rise up and rule this earth. Let me get the 7 heads there. You know what I mean? No, keep on reading. Keep on reading. Hold on.
The 7 heads are the 7 mountains.
Read
on which the woman sitteth.
Which the woman sitteth. Okay, let me get, okay. So the 7 heads is 7 nations that the woman sitteth upon. Okay? The 7 head is 7 mountains. When you go back into history, there were 7 major kingdoms that rose up and rule this earth. 7 major Caucasian kingdoms. That's what it's talking about. White people that rule in the earth. Major nations that rule in the earth. So you had Greece. They were a superpower at one time. You had Rome. They were a superpower at one time. You had Spain. They were a superpower at one time. You had France, Germany, Russia, Britain. You understand? They all were superpower at one time. You understand? So read it again.
Verse 9. And
they all are superpower. Read on.
And here's the mind which had wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains.
And you know what? Let me say something. Because some people might say, well, Russia is not carrying America. Yes, Russia does not agree with America. And they are against America and so forth. But guess what? When the European Union was founded, guess who? Guess who was part of that? Russia. Russia helped establish that. Okay? Now, guess what? Because when the United Nations is formed, guess who also got power? There, Russia. Okay, because after World War, there was the big three. Was Britain, America, and Russia. That's the big three right there. So when World War II was finished, they were the ones that put everything together that you see put together today. Okay, and because of the fear of Russia becoming the superpower, they formed NATO and it began the Cold War. You understand? But Russia had agreed with all that thing that you see set up in 1945, in 1948. Russia was in agreement with putting the fake Jews in that land of Israel. Russia was agreed with all of that. You understand? A lot of them people that's in the land of Israel, guess where they from? Russia. So for those of you all that talk about Russia, why is Russia one of the 7 heads? Because in the beginning, Russia did agree with all of that foolishness. Okay? Now, let's keep on going.
Verse 9. And here is the mind which had wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains.
So that's the 7 great nations that you see, white nations, Edomite nations that rose up out of that 4th beast. And that's them right there on the screen. Read on.
On which the woman sitteth.
And America is sitting on them. America is the top, okay, ruling over them. Read on.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen.
So now it's going back into history. Now put up another image I send you. Now it's going back into history. It says now there are 7 kings. It says 5 has fallen. Now we're going back into history. At that time, you had Achaia. Achaia, which is Greece, they were fallen. You had France, which is Gaul. They were fallen. You got Spain, which is Hispania. They were fallen at that time, in the time of John the Revelator. Then you had Germany, which was Magna Germania. They had fall at that time, in the time of John the Revelator. Then you had Scythia, which was Russia. They fell at that time. You understand? When John was writing this. So read that again.
Verse 10. And there are 7 kings.
5
are fallen.
5 is already fallen. Read on.
And 1 is.
And 1 is. What is that 1 is? That 1 is who? That 1 is Rome. Okay? Read on.
And the other is not yet.
And the other is not yet. Who is that other that is not yet? Okay. Wait, what we got there? What we got there? Put it back on the screen. Let me see. Greece, France, Spain, Germany, Russia. Okay. Okay, so the one that did not come yet was Great Britain. You understand me? Great Britain did not come yet. Okay. So we got 2, 4, 5. 1 is, that's Rome, that's 6. And Great Britain is 7. You all understand? Read it again and let me break it down again, man.
Verse 10. And there are 7 kings.
Okay.
5 are fallen.
So you had the 5 that was fallen, which was Greece, Spain, France, Russia, and Germany. Read on.
And 1 is.
The one that is at that time was Rome.
And the other is not yet come.
And the one that did not yet come into power is Great Britain. Y'all understand? No. It says he that got wisdom. You know what I mean? Read that again one more time.
Verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom.
If you got wisdom, you will understand what I just explained there. Read on.
The 7 heads are 7 mountains.
It's 7 nations. Read on.
On which the woman sitteth.
And these 7 nations is all Caucasian race.
Right.
It's all Edomites. Read on.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen. And 1 is.
And 1 is. So it jump back into history. 5 are fallen. 1 is. That's Rome. Okay, that was the only one that was there at that time. 1, that's Rome. Read on.
And the other is not yet come.
And the other have not yet come. No, that's Great Britain. No, if I had time, I would have gone into 2nd Ezra, because what we just read there, it's in 2nd Ezra's. You understand? When you read, these going to restore everything, because during the Renaissance, all these kingdoms came back. Right. In the 1400s, Spain came back into power, okay, because before the 1400s was Moors, black people was ruling Europe. I know a lot of you are like, what, black people? Yeah, that's why it's called the Dark Ages. So these places was ruled by black men. France or Spain, Russia. That's why you see the Russian icons. You see black people all over there. Yep. Okay. And what happened? Britain, all these places. So during the Renaissance mean rebirth. Okay, so the 5 that were fallen, they came back during the Renaissance. Not just they that came back, but also you had also Germany came into power too later on. You understand? Right. So from there, let's keep on reading.
Right. And okay, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is. And the other is not yet come. And when he cometh.
When he cometh, read on.
He must continue a short space.
So he shall continue a short space. So this goes into the time that Britain ruled. Okay, Britain ruled for a short time, right? Meaning they were the superpower of the earth. They tell you Britain, they call it the sun. What you call for? Because they ruled from the sun to the sun or something like that.
Right.
You know, but Britain came and they ruled for a time. They conquered China. They conquer. You know, you all ever heard about the remember them Jet Li movie and stuff like that?
Right.
That was Britain, the Boxers Rebellion and all of that. The Opium Wars, that was Britain. Britain was ruling the earth one point in time.
The kingdom where the king.
The kingdom where the sun never set.
Yeah.
Okay, meaning where Britain ruled, the sun don't set. They was ruling for so far. Okay, Britain ruled this whole earth one point in time, but they ruled for a time. Okay, so after they ruled for a time, what happened? Let's keep on reading. I'm showing you all the end that the prophets talk about in the beginning. Read on.
Verse 11. And the beast that was and is not.
So that beast that was and is not,
even he is the 8th.
So we read about the 7 heads and 10 horns, right? So now we're reading who that woman is. The woman is the 8th. You understand? Let me get the image. I know it's very hard. When Bishop explained it to me, it was hard. It took me a while to get it. But you all just keep going over it. You're going to get it. You understand? I want with the 7 heads and the 8 heads. You know, it was there. I saw it early on. Not the woman. Yeah. Not the bombs. Yeah, that's it right there. So, read it again for me, Jala. Leave that on the screen.
Yes, sir. Verse 11. And the beast that was and is not.
So the beast that was, meaning it's Rome. You understand? America is an extension of Rome. I'm going to touch on that if I get time too. I ain't really get to go into the political system as yet to know. I'm just breaking down like, yo. Anyways, I'm going to jump past a lot of stuff, man. So read that again for me.
And the beast that was and is not. Even he is the 8th.
Even he is the 8th. So that beast, that's the 8th. It's talking about America. Okay? It's talking about America. That woman that sitteth upon the scarlet colored beast is talking about the 8th head, which is talking about America. Okay? Read on.
And is of the 7.
And America came from the 7th. Who is the 7th? The 7th is Great Britain. You all understand? The 7th is Great Britain. So America, the pilgrims, where they came from? They came from Britain. Hey, you all turn off that heat there for me. The 7 came from Britain. Okay? Now, I want to show you all some. I send you all an image there concerning the states, some images. Hold on. Let me see there. Yeah. Across. Okay. No. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's it. And I got another one, too, just like that. I always that, too. But there, put that up on the screen. So the 7th, the 8th came from the 7th, which is Great Britain. The pilgrims came from Great Britain. All Americans, guess what? They Britons. You all understand? Everybody, all these white people in America, they are Britons. They came from Britain. Okay? Now, read that for me.
Let's go to the top.
Go to the top. I'll read to the top.
Many cities and towns in the United States were named after places in Britain, including Boston, Massachusetts.
Read on.
New York.
Read on. Name after what?
Okay, so Boston, named after the English town because the Pilgrims thought the terrain was similar.
Okay, keep on.
New York. Originally named New Amsterdam by the Dutch, the British renamed it York after the Duke of York of England.
You all see that? Okay, keep on reading. Keep going down.
Richmond, Virginia.
So everybody that came here, the pilgrims was all Britons, man. All these white people is immigrants. They came from Britain. Okay, read on.
Richmond, Virginia. Named after the view of the Thames from Richmond Hill in London.
You all see that? Read on.
Which is the city's founder thought reminded thought reminded him of the view of the James River.
You see, that is all from Britain. Read on.
Baltimore, Maryland, and Anglicization of the Irish phrase Bale and Timor, which means town of the big house.
You all see that? All that from Britain.
Charleston, South Carolina, originally named Charlestown after King Charles II.
So you all see that from Britain. Read on.
The name was shortened after the Revolutionary War.
So keep on reading.
Portland, Oregon.
Okay, let me get the next one that goes into the same stuff. I just send them back to back. Okay.
Portland, Oregon, named after the Isle of Portland in Dorset.
That's in Britain.
Many other places in the United States also have English names.
So you all see that. Like what? Like New England, all of that in New York, New England, all of them things, all them places in America was called where the settlers settled. They name it after places in Britain. Okay, so read it again for me, man.
In Revelation chapter 17 and verse 11.
Yeah, man. So Aitan was showing that to me last week. I was like, whoa, you know. So read that for me again.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth.
Even he's the eighth. That's America. Read on.
And is of the seven.
And is of the seven, meaning he came from Britain. That's what it means. He's of the seventh. Okay? Read on.
And goeth into perdition.
So that eighth beast goes into perdition, meaning he's going to go into destruction. Meaning he's going to be destroyed. Read on.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings.
Are 10 kings. The 10 kings is talking about the European Union. Read on.
Which have received no kingdom as yet.
They wasn't ruling at that time, the time of John, the Revelator. They wasn't ruling as yet. Y'all pay attention. Read on.
But receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
They're going to receive power for a time with America. You all understand? For a time with America, they're going to receive power. Okay, read on.
These have one mind.
So that's them carrying that woman. Mm-hmm. They have one mind with America. Okay, the European Union, okay, they have one mind with America. Okay, read on.
And shall give their power.
So this is what it means by the woman seated upon the scarlet colored beast, and that scarlet colored beast is carrying her. It's talking about Europe, all these white people, all the European unions and them, they giving their power to America. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what you are seeing right now, it start changing. Okay, read on.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
So they gave their power and strength to America. Read on.
These shall make war with the Lamb.
So Europe is going to make war with Christ when Christ returns. That's the Lamb. The Lamb is Christ. They're going to make war with him. Read on.
And the Lamb shall overcome them.
And Christ will destroy them. Read on.
For he is Lord of lords.
He is Lords of lords.
And King of kings.
And he is Kings of kings. Read on.
And they that are with him.
That's they that are what?
They that are with him.
Read on.
Are called.
Are what?
Called.
So who is coming with Christ? Who is coming with Christ when he returns for vengeance?
Angels.
The saints. They that are with him are called. And what?
And chosen.
And chosen. Read on.
And faithful.
And faithful. So that's for you brothers. You brothers that's called. You are chosen. And you are faithful. Meaning you kept the commandments. You coming back with Christ. That's why the scripture says in the days of these kings, the Lord is going to set up a kingdom that is not going to be destroyed. Because they will kill us. We will become martyrs for teaching this truth. In their mind, they think they're destroying us, but they are not. They are sealing us because we coming right back with our king to bring vengeance and judgment on them. You see me? You done know. Anyway, let me speed it up. Where am I there? Go to Revelation. So what I just show you all, I show you all America is the 8th head. Okay, America came from Great Britain. Okay, America is that little horn. Okay, now I'm going to get into, go to Revelation 13 and start at verse 1.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea.
Read on.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So this beast have 7 heads and 10 horns. We was reading about that right through. Read on.
And upon his horns 10 crowns.
Read on.
And upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
The heads is every last one of these European countries. All of them teach blasphemy and lies. Okay, every last one of them. Read on.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
So it was like unto a leopard, meaning who was the leopard? Greece. Read on.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
And who was the bear? The Persians and the Medes. Read on.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Like a lion.
And the dragon gave him his power.
And Satan gave him power. That's the dragon. Satan gave this beast, this last kingdom that we are living in, Satan gave him power. And what we just read here is going into this last beast, America. It got the characteristics of all the other beasts, all the other kingdoms that ruled before him. He got the characteristics and the traits of all of them. Okay? And guess what? We just read here that the dragon gave this 4th kingdom, which is Europe and America, the dragon gave them power. Okay? The dragon is who? Satan. Satan is their God. He gave them that military power, that economic power, all of that they got from Satan. How you think they were able to create these weapons of mass destruction and so forth? Okay? Their God gave them that power. Read on.
And the dragon gave him his power.
Read on.
And his seat.
Read on.
And great authority.
And the white man was given great authority on this earth. Okay, read on. Bible prophecy. Read on.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
So one of the heads was wounded like to death. Remember we read in Revelation 17 the beast that was and is not and yet is. That's talking about Rome. Okay, so Rome fell in 193 AD. Okay? Read on.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
So Rome fell. That's the one of the heads. One of the heads is Rome of this beast. Rome fell in 193 AD. Okay, read on.
And his deadly wound was healed.
So what it mean by the wound was healed? It mean, guess what? Rome came back. Okay? Rome came back. Okay, they came back in the 1453, and that time was called the Renaissance, meaning the rebirth of the white nation start back ruling Europe. Okay, read on.
And all the world wandered after the beast.
And everybody start worshiping the so-called white man. When he came back into power, he set himself up as Christ and God, and everybody start worshiping him. Okay, read on.
And they worship the dragon.
And they worship Satan. That's for all of you all that follow after Christianity and you say, oh, it doesn't matter what color Jesus Christ is and all of that. And you I'm following Christianity. You worshiping Satan when you worship Christianity. You understand? You are worshiping the dragon, Satan. Read on.
And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Because this Satan gave the white man that power. Okay, to conquer and colonize and murder. You understand? And that's who you worship. You worship Satan. Read on.
And they worshipped the beast. Saying, who is like unto the beast?
Who is like the white man? This man is so powerful. Read on.
who is able to make war with him?
That lets you know what it's talking about, because nobody could make war with the white man. Why? Because Satan have gave him power. You cannot war with him. Okay? China can't war with him. Japan can't war with him. Africans can't war with him. Arabs cannot war with him. Read on.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy.
So this great things and blasphemy is him calling himself a Jew, him saying he's a Christian, him saying God laws is done away with. It goes into all the lies that the white man is pushing on the earth. Read on.
And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
So he going to continue for a time. Read on.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God.
So this is what the white man did. He blasphemed God. Read on.
To blaspheme his name.
Read on.
And his tabernacle.
Read on.
And them that dwell in heaven.
And them that dwell in heaven. Read on.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. This is what we read in Daniel 7. They made war with us on this side of the world. Read on.
And to overcome
No, they made
them.
war with us in Africa. They made war with us here on this side of the world, and they overcame us. They enslaved us. They colonized us. Okay? Read on.
And power was given him over all kindreds.
And the white man is the one that's ruling the Chinese, East Indians, Africans. They rule everybody. You understand? Power was given him over all nations. Bible prophecy. Read on.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him.
So everybody on earth will worship the white man. You understand? Let me tell you all something. You might say the Arabs is not worshiping the white man, but guess what? If you so-called them Arabs and them, who does the Arabs call the Jews? They call the people in that land the Jews. That means they believe in that lie. So they worshiping him too.
Yep.
You understand? The Chinese, they don't go to church and worship the white man. But guess what? They call the people in that land the Jews. You understand? So they worshiping him too. You see? Yeah. So read that.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
So if your name is not written in the book of life, and you none of the elect, and you was not called out of all of this filth and lies, you will worship the beast. You will worship this man. Okay, read on.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Read on.
He that leadeth into captivity.
This goes back to what we read in verse 7 and 8. Okay, it says, he wore out the saints of the Most High. He wore us out how? In slavery. So now it reiterating what it said in the verses above. Okay, in him wearing us out is him enslaving us. Now it says this. This is for you dumb Christians. Do you believe this? Read that for me.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Do you believe what God says? I bet you don't. Okay? A lot of you white people, you always say, oh, that was my forefathers. I ain't took part in slavery. God said, if you let he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Captivity means slavery. You led his people into slavery. You enslaved and destroy his people. Guess what? You're going to go into slavery. That's the judgment.
That's
right. Okay, read on.
He that killeth with the sword.
Does you kill with the sword? Read on.
Must be killed with the sword.
That's the judgment of God. You will be killed with the sword, with destruction for all the evil and murder that you have committed on this earth.
That's right.
Read on.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So if you are a saint of God, this is what you're patiently waiting for. Read on.
And I beheld another beast come up out of the earth.
Read on.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb.
So this is what I wanted to get to. This other beast, it have 2 horns. So what we're reading about it was Britain. Okay, Britain and the European Union conquering Africa and so forth. But now it's going into America coming into power. Y'all understand? Read it again.
And I beheld another beast.
This other beast is that little horn. This other beast is the 8th head. Read on.
Coming up out of the earth.
Coming into power. Read on.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb. I'm going to jump back and explain these 2 horns like a lamb. Read on.
And he spake as a dragon.
And he spake like a dragon. When it says he spake like a dragon, meaning the things he speak could get you killed. He's speaking them same blasphemy that the dragon was speaking in verse 3 and verse 4. Okay? He speak great words against the Most High. That's him speaking like a dragon. Read on.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast.
He exercised all the power from Rome. That's the first beast. The first beast goes back to when the beginning of the beast. You understand? The first beast goes back to Rome. You understand? He exercised all the power of the first beast, meaning it goes back to Rome. Okay? Why do I? Let me show you all something. Go to First Maccabeus. I'm going to get to the 2 horns like a lamb first, right? I know. I'm going to get to that afterwards. Go to 2 Maccabeus. 2 Maccabeus, what I want? 8 and 11 and 12.
2 Maccabeus chapter 8, verse 11.
So this goes back to he exercised. No, read the whole thing and then read that for me.
Sir. Verse 12, Revelation 13 and 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast.
The first beast, read on.
Before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast.
So we worship the first beast. The first beast is who? Rome. Read on.
Whose deadly wound was healed.
Whose deadly wound was healed. Why? Because Rome came back in what? In 1453, during the Renaissance. So who are we worshiping? Rome. Roman Catholic doctrines. That's where all Christianity came from. You all understand that? Okay? We worship the first beast. Now check this. Not just we worship their religious system, but let me show you all something concerning America and Rome, because America is an extension of Rome. Okay? We read that in Revelation 17. So read that for me.
Well, first.
Yeah.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 11. And it was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms.
That's who? Rome? We start up, mention Rome there?
All right, let me read verse 1. Now, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans.
Of who?
Of the Romans.
Now jump to verse 11 and 12.
Verse 11. It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity. And that they had conquered kingdoms, both far and nigh, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
This is the Romans. Read on.
Also, that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign. And whom again they displace.
That's what America does. Who they want to set up to rule in a country, they let them rule. And who they don't want to rule in a country, they kill them. You understand? They cause coup and they overthrow them and they send the CIA in and destroy them. That's what America does. Okay? The same thing Rome was doing is the same thing America does. Read on. Destabilize the country and kill the leaders. Keep on reading.
Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown.
None of them wore a crown. None of them was a king. Like the same way back in Rome, there was no king set up in Rome. Rome was a republic, okay? Read on.
Or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby.
Read on.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house.
So they had a senate house set up. The same way how America's system today, they got the Senate set up. That's why I tell you all, America is an extension of Rome. Okay? The same way how Rome had the Senate House set up, America have a Senate House set up. Okay? Read on.
Wherein 320 men sat in council daily.
Okay.
Consulting always for the people.
That's the same thing that America does today. I think America is almost 200 or 400 in the Senate House. You know, so it's the same thing. Okay, you look on the American dollar, you're going to see the Roman numerals and all of that. It's all America is an extension of Rome. Okay, the political system here in America is an extension of Rome. What symbol did Rome carry? The what? The eagle. What symbol is America? The eagle. You all see what I'm saying? Okay, it's not rocket science. Who can hear I go fail? So check it. Yeah, read on.
To the end they might be well ordered, and that they committed their government to one man.
So they commit their government to one man. That's a president. Back then they were called a Caesar. Okay, read on.
Every year.
Every year, but now it's every 4 years or so. Okay, read on. Oh, that's it. Yes. So from there, I want you to go back and read it again.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and they which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
So this is what America have done. We are worshiping the first beast, which is Rome. That's the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Why? Because Rome came back. You understand? Rome came back, man. Okay, so from there, I want you to go to, let me see, keep on reading.
Verse 13. And he doeth great wonders.
That's his technology. Read on.
So that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
That's when he dropped that bomb on Japan, little boy and big boy. You understand? That's a miracle. That's what the prophet saw. The prophet saw America drop that bomb in 1945 on Japan. Remember what I touched on, declaring the end from the beginning. Okay? The Most High God let us know what's going to happen in the end from the beginning. No, I want to jump up back to verse 12, and I'm going to go into America political system. Okay? I wanted jump up there and read that for me.
Verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
Read on.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb.
So why it says this other beast that coming up? It says this other beast have 2 horns like a lamb. Okay? So now I'm gonna touch on these 2 horns like a lamb. So the beast is who? America. Okay? The 2 horns like a lamb is going into American political system. Okay, the 2 horns is talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. That's what the 2 horns is talking about. The Democrats and the Republicans. That's their political party. That's what they use to govern and govern this country and so forth. That's the 2 horns that control everything. Democrats and Republicans. Okay, so now I'm going to show you all, I'm going to go in a little history concerning those 2 horns. And it says 2 horns like a lamb, but they speak as a dragon. Why does it says, I'm going to touch on that in a minute. Okay, no, I want you to go to the beginning. I'll send you some things right there, some little article thing. Let me just see them on the screen. Let me see what I want. You know. Let me see what I want. Yes. Yes, that's it right there. Yeah. No, let me see that. Okay, go down, let me see. Go down, let me see. Keep go all the way down. Okay. All right, go all the way down, let me see. Go down. Look different on my phone. Is there a draft to the bottom? Okay, yeah, there is a draft. So go down. I'll go back up. Go back up. Go back. Slow down. Go up back. Okay. Now, read that for me.
Screen. Okay.
No, okay, go all the way down. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, go all the way down. Down. Okay, yeah.
First party system.
Okay. So now I'm going to go into where the Democrats and the Republican Party was found. Okay, I'm going to try to do it real quick. I ain't got much time.
The first party system was the political party system in the United States between roughly 1792 and 1824. It featured two national parties competing for control of the presidency, Congress, and the states. The Federalist Party, created largely by Alexander Hamilton, and the rival Jeffersonian Democratic Republican Party, formed by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison.
So there were the Federalist Party, and they were the Democratic Republic Party. That's what it was first started. Them two horns, when they first started, that's what they were. Okay? Or you could call it, let me see, what another term they were called was the Anti-Federalists and the Federalist Party. The Anti-Federalist Party and the Federalist Party. Okay, keep on reading.
Usually called at the time the Republican Party, which is distinct from the modern Republican Party.
Okay, read on.
The Federalists were dominant until the 1800s.
So the Federalist Party, they were dominant,
while the Republicans were dominant after 1800. Both parties originated in national politics.
So the Federalists and the Republican Party, they're the same. Okay, when you go into the history, the Federalists, they end up turning into Republicans. You understand? You know, they transform into Republicans. Keep on reading.
But soon expanded their efforts to gain supporters and voters in every state. The Federalists appealed to the business community and Republicans to the planters and farmers. By 1796, politics in every state was nearly monopolized by the two parties, with party newspapers and caucuses becoming effective tools to mobilize voters.
So no, you got the Federalists and you got the Republicans, you say there, right? The Federalists, the Republicans, they catered to farmers and, meaning to slavery and so forth. The Federalists, they was more into, what it said? Business and so forth. But this is the beginning of them two horns, you know, and they eventually evolve into Democrats and Republicans. Keep on going on.
The Federalists promoted the financial system of Treasury Secretary Hamilton, which emphasized federal assumption of state debts.
Go down. Let me see. Go down. I got to jump through this thing, man. What I say?
Leading nationalists George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, and Benjamin Franklin called the Constitutional Convention in 1787. He drew up a new constitution that was submitted to the state ratification conventions for approval, with the old Congress of the Confederation also approving the process. James Madison was the most prominent figure in the Constitutional Convention. He is often referred to as the father of the Constitution. An intense debate on ratification pitted the Federalists, who supported the Constitution and were led by Madison and Hamilton, against the anti-Federalists.
So you had the Federalists and the anti-Federalists. That was a two-horn one point of time. Now let me take that off. Go down. Let's see the voting thing. Let's see. Let's go down. Okay. So that was it. You had the Federalists, Democratic, Republican, Democrat. Yeah. So let me see the next thing. So in the beginning, that's what they were called. You know, if you want to look into more about the Federalists, you'll go and see that. Now, what I say right there? Yeah, what I say? Read the beginning.
Put it on screen. Emancipation Proclamation, 1863. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January the 1st, 1863, announcing that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious areas.
That's what you all pay attention to. You know, this was a strategy. We talking about Abraham Lincoln freed a slave. It was a strategy, man. So the slaves in the South was free. What about the slaves in the North? They weren't free. Read on.
That all persons held slaves within the rebellious areas are and henceforward shall be free. Initially, the civil war between North and South was fought by the North to prevent the secession of the southern states and preserve the Union.
So that's what it was about. He was trying to preserve the Union. He didn't want the southern state to have a secession. Secession meaning to leave the Union and form their own country. You understand? If he didn't do that, America wouldn't be established how it is established. It would be two different countries. You understand? So this is why the Civil War was really about. Abraham Lincoln was trying to bring America as one and keep them as one, unify them in as one country. Okay, because that's what the Bible says is supposed to happen. You know, so keep on. So that's what the Civil War was about. It wasn't really about freeing no damn slaves. Don't be listening to dumb people, man. Okay, keep on reading.
Even though sectional conflicts over slavery had been a major cause of the war, ending slavery was not a goal of the war.
That was not the goal of the war. You understand? The goal of the war by Abraham Lincoln was to bring all the states together, to stop states from secessioning. You understand? Meaning states say, you know what? I don't want to be part of the Union no more. You know what? Let me go do our own thing over here.
Right.
Okay? For real. So from there, let's see some. Let me see the next article I send here. I got some. There's a bunch of articles I sent. Yeah. What I say?
On the screen?
Yeah.
On the screen?
Yeah.
History of the Democratic and Republican parties. Founded in 1828, the Democratic Party is the oldest of the two largest U.S. political parties. The Republican Party was officially founded in 1854.
So 1854, the Republican Party was founded. Read on.
But the histories of both parties are intrinsically connected. Actually, we can trace the two parties historical backgrounds all the way back to the founding fathers.
Okay, that goes back to what we was reading about earlier on. You had anti-federalists and federalists. Okay, you all look into those. That was the two parties named before they became Democrats and Republicans. Okay, read on.
Now, let us look at the history of the two major political parties in the U.S. The founding fathers disagree. Differing political views among U.S. founding fathers eventually sparked the forming of two factions. George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, and John Adams thus formed the Federalists.
Okay.
They sought to ensure a strong government and central banking system with a national bank. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison instead advocated for a smaller and more decentralized government and formed the Democratic Republicans.
So y'all see that. So there was the Democratic Republicans and there were the Federalists. Okay? Sometimes they are the Democratic Republicans. It's called anti-federalists. Keep on reading.
Both the Democratic and the Republican parties, as we know them today, are rooted in this early faction.
Okay.
Democratic-Republican division. At the beginning of the 19th century, the Democratic Republicans were largely victorious and dominant. The Federalists, in turn, slowly faded, eventually dissolving.
Okay.
Because the Democratic Republicans were so popular, the party had no less than 4 political candidates pitted against each other in the presidential election of 1824. John Quincy Adams won the presidency in spite of Andrew Jackson winning the popular vote. This sparked a strong political division within the party, which eventually caused the party to split in two. The Democrats and the Whig Party. The Democrats were led by Andrew Jackson. He was against the existence of the Bank of the United States, and he largely supported states' rights and minimal government regulations. The Whig Party stood in distinct opposition to Jackson and the Democrats and supported the National Bank. The donkey in the Democratic Party's logo is said to derive from Andrew Jackson's opponent calling him a jackass.
So you all see where the donkey came from? You understand? So I'm just showing you all where the Democrats and Republicans come from. You understand? Okay, they will both call, one will call anti-federalists and one will call federalists. Okay, and they evolve into the Democrats and Republicans. Now let me see the other images. And let me tell you all something. America is not a Democrat. America is a republic. Okay, let me see what else I got there. Okay, yeah, read that for me.
Looking in, looking out. The Donkey and the Elephant by Helen Campion. The donkey and the elephant have long represented the Democratic and Republican parties. But how did they choose them? Did they spend months deliberating? Was a law passed? Was there a public vote? Actually, neither party set out to find an icon.
So they wasn't trying to look for that icon that you all see set up today. The donkey and the elephant. I'm going to show you all.
The acceptance of these symbols grew out of negative comments and political cartoons.
Read on.
Here's how it happened. Democrats. The Democratic Party's first association with the donkey came about during the 1828 campaign of Democratic Andrew Jackson, running on a populist platform by the people for the people and using a slogan of "Let the people rule." Jackson's opponents referred to him as a jackass.
Yeah, so they call him a jackass, a donkey. You know what I mean? Andrew, what is that? They
Andrew
call
Jackson.
him Andrew Jackson. They call him a jackass or a donkey. So that's where that slogan come from. Okay, that's where that symbol that the Democrats use. That's where it come from. Okay, they say, you damn jackass, you a donkey. So he said, you know what, I gonna take that. That's what they use, you know.
Andrew Jackass.
Keep on reading.
Much to their chagrin, Jackson incorporated the jackass into his campaign posters. During Jackson's presidency, the donkey was used to symbolize his stubbornness by his opponents.
Okay.
After Andrew Jackson left office, political cartoonists furthered the Democratic and donkey connection.
Okay.
And an 1837 cartoon depicted Jackson leading a donkey which refused to follow, portraying
No, go down.
Republicans. The earliest connection of the elephant to the Republican Party was an illustration in an 1864 Abraham Lincoln presidential campaign newspaper after Father Abraham. It showed an elephant holding a banner and celebrating Union victories.
So that's what it's going into. Elephant holding a banner and celebrating the Union victory. That's what the elephant is about. Okay, so when you all see the donkey and the elephant and them symbolism, Democrats, Republicans, that represent the two horns. Okay, that represent the two horns, the Democrats, the Republicans, or the federal or anti-federal. You know, if you all could look more into the federal and the anti-federal. That was the two both parties in the beginning, and then it turned into Democrats and Republicans. You understand? Okay, so I got a video there. Let me see the videos that I sent you. I'm gonna just play one of them real quick. Anti-federals, okay, federals, yeah. No, I'm gonna gotta skip some stuff and just hit some scriptures real quick, man. Some videos that I got there talk about, let me see the videos you got there. Let's jump through them real quick. Okay. Yeah, let me get the one all the way to the bottom, all the way 5. Yeah, 5. No, not 5. That one 6. Yeah. Play that for me. Yep. So I'm going to hit some scriptures. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this lesson, man. I do not think. I think OC going to be coming up for 7. You know, I ain't think I'm going to be able to finish this lesson. I wanted to go into the voting stuff and show you all why you don't supposed to vote and so forth. But, yeah, so play that for me.
The ideal of a democracy is universal equality.
Go back
the
from
ideal
the
of
beginning.
A constitutional republic, not a democracy.
So, pause. America is a constitutional republic. not a democracy. You know how everybody be talking about America is a democrat and democracy? No, Greece was a democratic country. You understand? Rome was not. Rome was a republic. Okay, I don't know. People doesn't know history. They don't even know the history here in America. America is not founded on a democracy. America is a constitutional republic. Okay, look it up, people. We are Democrat. Come on, keep on playing.
A constitutional republic, not a democracy. The ideal of a democracy is universal equality. The ideal of a constitutional republic is individual liberty. A democracy always degenerates into dictatorship, which promises government guaranteed.
A democracy always degenerates into dictator rulership and so forth. Okay? We keep on playing. Play that again.
Individual liberty. A democracy always degenerates into dictatorship, which promises government guaranteed equality and security, but it delivers nothing but poverty and serfdom for the people it robs and rules.
So y'all see that? Now, America began as a republic, and somehow it ended up declining and going into a democracy. What the hell is going on? You understand? But a democracy always, that's when our country is about to on a decline. You understand? Like the founding fathers, they were not trying to make America democratic. You understand? This was a constitutional republic. You know? So anyways, let me jump off of that. So read Revelation again. I want to read Revelation again.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb.
He had two horns like a lamb. So them two horns goes into the Republicans and the Democrats. And it says like a lamb. Why it says like a lamb? Who could help me there? Why it says like a lamb? Think about it. Huh? Because what? He offer peace? Huh? Right, he's saying he's a lamb. What else? What else? That's it right there.
Drop the ball.
That's it right there. That goes back to Matthew 24 when it says, many shall come in my name. Okay? The Democrats and the Republicans, this is one part of it. They say that they are what? Christians. You all understand? So they act like a lamb. They say we are Christian society. The Democrats and the Republicans, they say we are Christians. Okay? But read it again. I want you all to understand. And also a lamb is what? Because who is the lamb? Christ. Christ is the lamb. So they saying we are, we are Christians.
Right.
You know what I mean? They are Christians. They are a Christian society. Okay, the Democrats and Republicans. But this is what I want you all to see. That's what these Republicans is fighting for. They're fighting to hold on to their conservative rights and their Christian rights and all of that stuff. Okay, but hey, read it again one more time.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb.
Two horns like a lamb. What is also going into two horns like a lamb? Those political system, okay, what it have done ever since 1960s, it have transformed itself into America have transformed itself into, they are about peace, equal rights, justice, freedom, okay, they are about everything good and so forth. You all understand that the reason why I say after the 60s, they gave us this. because before that they were lynching us and stuff here in America, and they still was, but it was being hidden. When Malcolm X rose up, Martin Luther King rose up, Malcolm X went to the UN. Okay, America was looking bad. So in order for America to retain that world supremacy and be the light to the world, okay, they had to set themselves up as a God-fearing nation and a peaceful nation. And they are here to bring peace and equality and democracy on the earth. Okay, so that's what these two political systems does. Don't matter which one it is, it could be Democrats or Republicans. Guess what? They both are like the speakers, they are like a lamb, but they what? Read it again.
They have two horns like a lamb.
Those two horns is like a lamb. Mean it looked peaceful, but read on.
And he spake as a dragon.
The things they teach gonna get you killed. They are murderers and killers. You understand? They are of the dragon. Satan is working with them. They speak as a dragon. I hope you all understand. This is the two political system. The Democrats and Republicans. Them two horns. Okay, they speak like a dragon. Okay? And how did this take place? How did this take place? They gave us civil rights, food stamp. America set itself up after 1945 and 1948. They put the Jews in, the fake Jews in the land, and then America starts setting up themselves as the people of God, as righteousness and holy, and they try to erase slavery. We sorry about slavery and all of that. While guess what they were still doing? They were still oppressing the Negroes here in America, incarcerating them. You understand? They set up instead of lynching us and doing things to us openly. Guess what? They're doing it secretly now. You understand? They say, you know what? They say, we can't just lock them up like that no more. You know what? Let's create situations that create crimes. Okay, because back then they had black codes and stuff set up and desegregation. But in order for America to become the ruler of the world, they said, we can't be doing this no more. We have to change this. So let's give the Negroes a little crumbs. Let's tell them, listen, you could vote now and renew it every couple of years. Okay? But this is what I want you all to see concerning them two horns like a lamb. I want you to go to let me see, go to Isaiah 14. No, Isaiah 55 and 20. No, them two horns, what they push is against God. You understand? And it push lies. Them two horns, Democrats and Republicans, they are about lies, and them two parties is against God. Okay, that political system, this is what I want you all to understand. The Democratic and Republican system, it was built on Jim Crow. It was built on segregation. It was built on lynching. It was built on blood and the murder of the North American Indians. It was built on oppression. I want you all to understand that them two political system is built on blood and murder, but yet they act like a lamb. You understand? But the Bible said they speak as a dragon. Okay, so now I want you all to read that for me. Read that for me. Yeah. Damn, I got 1 minute. I don't got to just read two more scriptures and shut it off. OC, I'm almost done. Give me some time and do a part 2. Read that for me. Isaiah 55, no, Psalms 55 and 20. And then Isaiah 14 and 12.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
So read on. So the people that were at peace with him, he put forth his hand. Say, when he put forth his hands, he come to what? What the white man does? He tried to shake your hands and form agreements and treaties. You know, and smile in your face. You all ever realize every time you see white people, they always smile for no reason?
Fake smile.
Like, why you smiling at me for, man?
Bruh.
You know, read on.
He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Read on.
He had broken his covenant.
He always broke his covenant. Whatever agreement the white men make, he breaks it. Don't trust him. Read on.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
This is talking about the Republicans and the Democrats. Okay, they said they freed us from slavery, but were we really freed from slavery? No, they instituted, you had a Democrat came and instituted what? The 13th Amendment, and they established the prison system. Okay, and they took us right back into slavery. If you jaywalk on the street, slavery. You homeless, you ain't got nowhere to stay, slavery. Guess what? They put you out of slave, they put you out, you are free now. Most likely you ain't got nowhere to stay, right? So guess what? Slavery. You ain't got nowhere to stay, okay, you breaking the law, slavery. Okay, so you can't tell me this system is designed for black people. The laws in this system was always designed to enslave and destroy our people, man. Okay, read on.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
It was smoother than butter. Jesus is love. We are Christian society. We are about peace and unity and equal rights for everyone. That's what they say. Okay, read on.
But war was in his heart.
And what they turned around and did, put chicken pox in all the blankets of the North American Indians and kill them. You understand? What they did, they end up going, they like war is in their heart. Peace, and they said, we want a peace deal. We want to establish a peace deal in Gaza. Mm-hmm. And then they drop in bombs and murdering little kids and women. Okay? Read it again.
He put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Read on.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Read on.
But war was in his heart.
This is the white man. War is in his heart. He came to conquer and murder. And, you know, that's what he come to do. War is in his heart. He loved to war. Read on.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
He talked nice to you, but yet he got the sword behind his back, about to stab you. Y'all understand? This is his nature. This is the white man nature. This is how their political systems work. The Democrats and Republicans. Read on.
Cast thy burden upon
them. Okay, from there, go to Isaiah 14 and 12. So what happened to America? What happened to America? Go to 2 Corinthians 11 and 13 first. 11 and 13.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13. For such are false apostles.
So remember, it says them two horns is like what? It's like a lamb, but they speak as a dragon. Meaning what they speaking is from that same dragon that gave the beast its power, from Satan. Read it again.
For such are false apostles.
So,
deceitful workers. Transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ.
So this is why America it says they are like a lamb, because America transformed themselves into Christians. The Christians that followed after Christ in the past. When they are not the Christians that used to follow after Christ. They are murderers. That's who they are. Okay?
That's right.
So that's what they did. Read on.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
So what you all got to understand, Satan have transformed himself. So what? In the beginning, Satan transformed himself into an angel of light. That's how we deceive Eve. Read on.
For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
So don't be marveled if his ministers is transformed into a minister of righteousness. That's them two horns like the lamb. That's them two horns. They transform themselves into being righteous. Okay? But let's see what God says in Isaiah 14. Let's see what God says concerning them transforming themselves into an angel of light. Let's see.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
How art thou what?
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
When it says fallen from heaven, it ain't talking about up in the sky, it's talking from rulership. Okay, the Lucifer here is talking about who? It's talking about America. Yes, America is referred to as Lucifer, and I'm going to show you all that. So it says, how art thou fallen from rulership, or from ruling, O Lucifer? The word Lucifer mean what? Light bearer. Okay, because what? America bear the light to the world. Well, used to bear the light to the world. Let me say it that way. If people starving or people hungry, guess who always there to help them? America. You understand? I'm coming to save you. But guess what? They was robbing and stealing and murdering and doing much evil underhanded. But things is changing where everybody's seeing what Lucifer is doing, what America is doing. Okay, ever since it's been 70 years since the European Union and them gave that power to America. You all know it's only been 70 years. It's been that long, 70 years. And within that 70 years, millions of people was bombed and killed by the U.S. military. You all know that? I'm talking about civilians, not military people, civilians. Millions of civilians was killed. And they're talking about peace and love and righteousness and equal rights. Okay? What happened to the Palestinians? Where do they have rights? I thought America was about peace and love. But now we're seeing them two horns. The lamb quality is disappearing. And all we're seeing from them is the dragon. That's what we're seeing. Okay, so read on.
Oh, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
So Lucifer means light bearer. It's talking about America. America is Lucifer, bear the light of the world. Read on.
Son of the morning.
Uh-huh.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
Read on.
Which didst weaken the nations.
Because America is weaken the nations. Read on.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
So this is talking about America. It's talking about space traveling. I'm putting satellites up there in the space. Read on.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
That's them sitting upon the 12 tribes of Israel over here. You understand? Letting you know it's not talking about spiritual demon Satan. Okay? He's sitting upon us over here. Mean to sit on somebody, meaning you conquer them. Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
That's them creating airplanes. Read on.
I will be like the Most High.
Read on.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
Read on.
To the sides of the pit.
Read on.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man?
The what?
The man.
The what?
The man.
The what?
The man.
So Lucifer is a what?
Man.
Is a man. Which man? The white man. The American white man that bear the light to the world. Is this the man that did what?
That made the earth to tremble?
Make the earth tremble when he dropped bombs on nations. Read on.
That did shake kingdoms?
And he shake kingdoms when he dropped bombs on them. This is America. America is Lucifer. You all might think I'm bugging again. Okay, jump to verse 4.
Verse 4. Verse 4. That thou should take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
So the man is talking about the king of Babylon. It's talking about Babylon, America. Read on.
And say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
So the oppressor, America or Lucifer is the oppressor. Read on.
The golden city.
America
ceased.
Or Lucifer or the king of Babylon is also referred to as the golden city. The golden city is the light bearer. You understand that bear light to the world is talking about America. You understand the richest country on the earth. Okay, read on.
The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked.
The Bible also referred to them as the wicked. Okay? Now from there, go to 2 Thessalonians. I'm going to close it off here, man. I wanted to go into why we shouldn't vote and stuff like that and touch on, but I'm going just got to leave it there for now. You understand? So just read that one more scripture here, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8 and 9.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
So what you see taking place right now, you see them two horns like a lamb, which is the American political system. Now we are seeing that AIPAC run that. Okay, all these Jewish organizations, they run the American political system. Them two horns like a lamb, okay? No, there's no more, the lamb is new. You ain't seen the lamb no more. They can't fake and act like they are a lamb and they are Christians no more. Okay, because what's happening? They being revealed. Okay, why they being revealed? All the wicked, would Christians murder over 40,000 civilians? Would Christians do that believe in Christ? No. You understand what I'm saying? Because America and the political system, they put themselves as God-fearing people and for equal rights and justice to the world. But the nations, what they are seeing America and Israel is doing, they say, there's no equal rights and justice there. You know what I mean? Right. So they are being revealed. And also by us teaching these class, we are revealing who you are. You are the fourth beast, the eagle, the king of Babylon, the abomination of the earth, the mystery of iniquity. You understand? The great whore, you know? Right. Read on.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
And that wicked Esau shall be revealed. Read on.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Christ going to destroy you when he return. Read on.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
When it says even him who coming is after the working of Satan, it's talking about and Satan gave him his power and seat and great authority. The same thing we read in Revelation 13, and the dragon gave him his power. Who is the him that coming is after the working of Satan? It's talking about the 7 heads and 10 horns. You understand? It's talking about Europe and America. They coming into power and ruling this earth is after the working of Satan. Right. You understand? It's going into the American political system. The Democrats and Republicans. Okay? That power system, they act like they are Christ-like, but they speak as a dragon. They are evil. You understand? They push homosexuality. Them people evil as hell. But read on.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
So everything they teach is lying wonders. The lying wonders is through their science, their technology, and so forth. Okay, that's the lying wonders. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there, man. If I get a chance, I might do the political system. Man. So the two horns as a lamb, you all understand what that's going into. It's going into the American political system. Democrats, Republicans. So the Bible speaks about that. The Bible speaks about America political system, the Democrats and Republicans. It talk about the liberals. Yes, I wanted to go into all of that, but I'm not going to be able to. Okay, Lord's will, one of the brothers touch on it before the election. One of you brothers touch on it before the election, man. Go into them liberals and all the evil stuff they doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, hey. So, now I want to put this up on the screen. As I said, this time slot that I was in, this is the Raven and Wolves time slot. I just tried to put some knowledge out there and don't waste don't waste the time slot. So, what I want you all to see is, okay. So, I'm starting a new... a new show, you understand? A news broadcast. Me and the brothers here, we're working on something new, okay? Something new we're working on is called End Time Prophecies, okay? End Time Prophecies. We're going to be going over stuff that's going on. What we're going to do, the stuff that's taking place in the world and in the news, we're going to go into the scriptures and show you all it in prophecy. Okay, so End Time Prophecy, that's going to be the new show, every week. We got a new YouTube page, new Instagram page. Okay, what I want you all to do is subscribe to all of these pages. Get your QR code, scan all the QR codes. I'm going to give you all some time. Scan them codes, and I want you all to, especially the YouTube, I want you all to subscribe to the channel so we could carry up the number on the channel, so we could go broadcast and so forth. So everybody pull out your phone and scan the QR code and subscribe to the channel. You know, that's going to be the new channel, ETP News, End Time Prophecy. End Time Prophecy. So that's what we're going to be doing from now on Sundays, Lord's will. You know, we're working on it right now, but soon we're going to get it off the ground. So you all just make sure you all scan that right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, so. Okay. Yeah, man. Make sure you all scan it, man. So, hey, listen, brothers and sisters, you all don't supposed to be voting. You understand? You all do not supposed to be voting. Them two political parties is built on oppression and murder. Okay? Them two political parties, the Bible talk about it, is a two-horn like a lamb. But they spake as a dragon that came from that beast that came out of the earth, which is America. You understand? Okay, so I hope you all got some from that lesson. Okay, Lord's will, we gonna get this new show popping soon. You know, you all stay tuned. You done know. Yeah, you already know, man. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless.